Right, I think we are live, hopefully. I can never get used to this, which way I have to look and which way my hair is going and all that good stuff. Hello everyone. I am going to wait while some people turn up. I'll see if anyone does turn up. It's always a bit worrying when you've had a bit of a break that nobody's going to turn up at all. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. That looks more like it does on YouTube, doesn't it? Even though we are on YouTube. So I thought I would do a live with Diana because I've had a couple of weeks off, and I thought I would just have a chat with you all and do a cuppa and a catch up and a chat live, which might actually be something that I'm planning on going on with on the channel now that I'm back, because things are going to be changing a little bit. I've also just done my first, I don't know if you're able to see this, Becca's Bookathon roll. So I have got my first prompt from the Bookopoly board, which I'm going to put on Instagram in a second, and then see if you all want to join in with picking what I should read from that selection. Oh, I'm getting comments. Oh, it's exciting. So Betsy says hiya. Liz P says hurrah. Julia Young says hi Simon. Cecilia John, I thought it was a premiere, but this is so much nicer. Michelle Hood, there's no House of Games tonight, so here I am, you lucky chap. What's House of Games? Tell me what House of Games is in the comments. So hi Charles Heathcott, hello Monet Doyle, lovely to have you all. How are you all? What's been going on? What have I missed in the last 2 weeks that I've been off, or 2 and a bit weeks, even though I came back a teeny bit earlier than planned. With book club yesterday, which was with Melanie as always, and was Dara McNulty's Diary of a Young Naturalist, which we loved. And if you haven't seen it, do go and check it out. There is a parrot involved that heckles us throughout. So very, very exciting. Francis Johnson is here. Rebecca's here. Marcellina Books is here. Milena Reeds is here. Claire Ellis is here. This is lovely. Lovely to have you all back. It's a little bit last minute, and I was very, very rubbish at promoting it. But I'm just going to try and do it again. I'm going to try and get people to join us here because I would like as many of you as possible, and I want you all, like I said, to help me with my first pick for Bookathon. Liz P says she's missing me on Sky Arts. Well, that gives me the prime example just to say that, yes, I'm not on the main show this season. Who knows about next season if we get recommissioned, but I will be doing lots and lots of, well, I already am doing lots and lots of extra content on the Facebook group. I can't, it's really odd when I'm not with my normal backdrop. I find I'm a bit thrown by everything. I don't quite know what to do with myself. Anyway, like I said, I thought I would pop on here for like half an hour or so, just have a catch up with you all. Hope that the sun behaves. It's currently behind clouds, which is just how I like it, because also today, and I can't say this word properly, is the meteorological start of autumn. Although I also discovered today that in Gaelic tradition, it is August is when autumn starts, which is like amazing. So that's very exciting. S. Kelly is in Dublin. Who else have we got? Sorry. Emma Robertson. Hello, Emma. Lovely to see you. Haven't seen Emma in ages, not since a Booktube Bookshop crawl. Right, I'm going to move myself backwards a little bit so that I don't get too blindy like that. Blinding light. It does feel like autumn has arrived today, though. You're very, very right indeed. I agree. Helen Wilson now. Is this how I do it? Yes, there we go. This is how I can show people things. Thank you very much. This is a lovely jumper, and I can't remember what the independent maker of it is. I don't know if it says on the back. But I will try when I do the comments to leave a comment below so that people can find it. This will be showing itself on Benjamin Likes It Too. Benjamin, that's a slightly sinister avatar, if I'm allowed to say that. Also, lockdown in Australia, I feel for you. I enjoyed quite a lot of lockdowns and shielding over the last 15 months, and it was a time. So, yeah, right. Now, I would love... Oh, I wish Sky would pop your content on YouTube. You see, they're trying to grow. Facebook is like the big audience for Sky, so I think they're trying to keep on growing that, and so that's where I supposedly come in. And so far, So good. I'm really, really enjoying all the Sky Facebook stuff. So on there, you get like a weekly Sky Arts Book Club extra, which is kind of me going behind the scenes with Andy and Oliver in the book clubs on set. Then you have me talking to the authors. Chris is cooking on there now. I mean, it's all go, go, go there, frankly. So yeah, I'm really, really, really enjoying it. And also, at first, I won't lie, I was a bit like, oh, I'm not on the main show. I feel a bit sad. I feel like I've been demoted. But I got to be like, well, I get to be on set every time, and I get my own weekly show, which is quite the thing, and helps pay off the mortgage quicker. So there we go. That's what I'm going to say on that. But I think one of the next video, I've just done a video on tips for book clubs because I've been in quite a few, and they have been quite varied, and I'm also going to hopefully be doing a cooking show with a cooking video with Chris. Somebody's going to tell me off. Last time I did a live, I got told off for being too distracted and for sort of being a bit all over the place, but that's just me when I'm talking to a live audience that I can't really see. So I'm just putting that out there as well. Anyway, how are you all? Tell me what's going on, what you're reading, all that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of catch up about things that I've been reading on. I've had a very interesting day today in terms of the Tinterweb, because first of all, I was meant to be recording a event for a festival with 3 authors whose memoirs I have been reading. These 3: Raceless by Georgina Lawton, I'll show you it there, Inferno by Catherine Cho, and Hadley Freeman's House of Glass. One of the authors didn't turn up, so I think that's got to be recorded. And at the point, that was my first sort of techno moment of the day. And then it was telling me on my screen I was in a waiting room to do a Teams meeting with lots and lots of important people in the library and publishing and arts sector world. And little did I know that while it was telling me I was in the waiting room, I was actually live. Everyone could see me, and I was just like pottering around. I was taking selfies. I started videoing myself doing something. I did a little bit of a dance while I was moving around. It was all very, very awkward. I've just seen that lovely, so many lovely people that are popping up. It's really, really, really nice to see. Hello, Doom Antidote. How are you? I didn't get to see you in London. I was sad about it. Anyway, what else is going on? So yeah, I made an absolute fool of myself today. So what are people reading? People are reading The Man in the High Castle, which I have never read. Is that from Bookopoly, Milena? Let me know. Girl with a Louding Voice is absolutely brilliant. I can't recommend that one enough. Who else we've got? How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House. Me and Mum's predictions for the Women's Prize shortlist to winner will go live next Tuesday, and then me and my mum are at the party on Wednesday, and Mum will be doing some roving reporting for me for Sky Arts. I'll be filming, and also possibly some stuff for the channel as well, so that should be good, or certainly for a vlog. Who else is reading what else? I have still not read The House in the Carillion Sea, and I really, 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 really need to. Now, I just want to mention, I mentioned Bookopoly earlier, actually, and just to remind you all, if you go to Becca's channel after this at 7 o'clock, she's doing reading sprints to get people in the swing. Scout, I do not love teams. They're evil, and it showed me dancing for everybody, and it was really, really embarrassing. Have I read Seven Sisters series by Lucinda Riley? I haven't, but for something that I'm doing for work, a project that we're announcing in a few weeks, I have been talking about those books quite a lot recently. Melina is not doing Bookopoly, her own TBR game. Oh, what's it based on? Tell me everything. I'm really into TBR games at the moment. I want to start my own with Simon Swipe, which I'm hoping to do from January 2022. Can I also just ask, where's 2021 gone? How is it already September 2021? I don't even get it. I just can't even. So there's that. I just spotted Chris driving by. I think he's got some goodies for me in his bag. That's not a euphemism. So Now, I need to share this Instagram so that people can come and help me pick what I rolled for, or sorry, the choice in response to what I rolled on Bookoplathon. So I've got the board. I rolled an 8, just so that you all know. And what I'm going to do is ask people to recommend me different titles that they think I would love that fall into this category. Although, sorry, this is very boring watching me do Instagram, especially because I am so slow at it, and I've now got to try, let me just mute myself to find this video and add it to a link. Isn't it this exciting for you? I would really love to know, by the way, what you would like to see on the channel now that it's back, because it is going to be changing. We're going to be going to less videos every week, but hopefully that means they will be better. I won't get burnout, and I think I got into the habit of feeling like I was having to make 4 a week, and I don't think that's the right number for me. So yeah, that's just some insight into that. Right, I'm going to try and find myself now, which is very weird to say that I'm doing as I do this, so that I can get myself a link, copy link. I've done it. And now I'm going to pop that onto Instagram, and then you'll get my full attention, because I should have done this sooner. And with that, let's press the magic button. Ta-da! Right, so yeah, I would love to see what people would like for me to do. Oh, Yolanda has said that she's going to start Ariadne by Jennifer Saint tomorrow. So I did Bookopoly at the start of August. Let's go backwards before we go forwards, because that might make sense. And I have 3 books that I did not get to that were on my Bookopoly TBR from last month, where Becca did she rolled the dice for me on one of her old Bookopoly boards. And I know, I need to get to this. I still haven't read it. I actually didn't read any Women in Translation in Women in Translation Month, but one, I love Women in Translation Month, and it reminds me that I need to read more Women in Translation. But at the same time, I think that it's like with Pride or with Black History Month. I think we should be reading those books all the time, not just focusing on those months, which I know people don't generally do, but a lot of people might. And it's like my whole thoughts on Pride full stop anyway, because as someone who is part of the queer community, I'm not gay like one day of the year. I'm gay every day of the year, although I prefer the term queer. I'm queer every day of the year. So that was just a little aside. But this, I'm going to try and read this month if it can match to a prompt in any way, which I don't think it can with the one that I've got, which we'll come to shortly. Then we've got The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, which I think is probably the one that I've most talked about this year and not got around to reading. Is there possibly another one? Possibly Funny Weather by Olivia Lang, which I've read that now, so it can't be that one. I'd forgotten that I'd finished it. I had a wobble with it in the middle, but then carried on and finished it. Anyway, and then Ariadne was one of the other prompts. Oh, and actually there was also The House in the Woods by Yvette Fielding, who does Most Haunted, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to try and get to those in this month, because they're sort of hangover books from last month, but I'm not beating myself up about reading at all. So there we go. That's just letting you know how I got on with last month's Bookopoly. And what else have I got to say about last month? Oh, and also going back to last month before we move forward, I had the most dreadful book hibernation this summer. I read 1 book to fruition, The Islands of Mercy by Rose Tremaine, which I did really enjoy, and actually covered 2 prompts because it had a swimming pool on it, and it also had it was holiday romance prompt, which is read a book by an author that you know you'll love and love again, and I did. So that was really good. But then I DNF'd. I don't even have it with me, and I should, because I've been talking about books that I've been reading. Yeah, I DNF'd for now, not forever, but I DNF'd Loving Colour, It's Here by Bolu Babalola. I'm not going to tell you more about what I read last month, because I'm actually shock horror going to be doing a wrap-up, an August wrap-up. I think it's only going to be my 3rd wrap-up of the whole year, because I've been so shameless with them. Emma would like to see upcoming release videos. That's something that I was doing, and I stopped doing because it was making my head explode. But now that Frank magazine is coming back and I'm the books editor for that, I will be looking at books going forward more frequently, so I'm hoping to do that. Lots of people saying they loved Ariadne, which is a very good sign. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. This made me laugh. Whenever you say any videos, let me know if you think that's a good idea and you'd like to see a video. You should know that the answer is always yes, and you don't need to ask. If only that were true. Sometimes I genuinely, and actually this is something that I want to talk about, is sometimes I'm generally soundboarding and genuinely want to hear what your opinions are. You don't always have to agree with what I want to do. That doesn't always mean that I'll do what you think I should do instead, but I quite like having that sort of discussion. It sort of sets ideas pinging off, or you might say, well, you could do this like this, and I think, oh yeah, I could next time, but I'll just try it this way first and then see. And it's really, 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 really ace. So and the other thing that I want to say is there's quite a lot of been quite a few comments I noticed about, like, when I said that I was having a little break, that was it work reading that was kind of becoming a bit too much. But actually, two things. One, in terms of work reading, it's generally, I would say, 40% of what I read. So like 60% of the time I'm reading what I like. And if it hadn't been for work reads in the last month throughout August, I don't think I would have read anything, and I would have gone properly funky post book hibernation. And actually having 3 books to read for Sky Arts Book Club was really, really good. Having these 3 to read for an event was really, really, really good. And yeah, it's actually really, really pushed me through and really helped. I don't know if you all know what the books are for next month's book club, but they are, let me just show you them and then I won't mention it again. We Are All the Birds of Uganda, and I need to try and get this in a bookoplathon prompt in some way. What It Feels Like for a Girl by Paris Lees, so I need to work out how to get that in, and Submarine by Joe Dunthorne. So those are some of the books that I need to try and get to. And then another one that I need to try and get to is Eleanor Ferrante's The Lion Life of Adults, somehow on Bookoplathon on my Bookopoly board, as this is the next read for the Frank Book Club, which will be going onto Frank's YouTube, not mine anymore. So that's a change. It's all change. And I guess that, Rebecca's just asked, did you put a mask on that painting, or was it part of the painting? She's actually blowing a bubble. It's actually meant to be bubble gum. But in the last year, lots of people have thought it's a mask, and that could be quite apt. I'm glad to hear that other people are queer every day of the year too, not just for Pride. More requests for upcoming release video. Keep your requests coming on the things you'd like to see. Jenny would like to read Ariadne, but can't fit it into my Bookoplathon prompt so far. For those of you who don't know, and I can't hold it up, actually, no, I can. That's a big fib. Don't be ridiculous. I'm just being a lazy, absolute lazy sausage. This is the Bookoplathon board. So it's like Monopoly, but with lots of different prompts, and you base your reading on it. And then you also have chants, which are books that you put on little the sun. Honestly, it's autumn, it's meant to not be here anymore. Chants, which are books, both books you really, really want to get to and books you've been really, really putting off, so that if those get picked, you have to read those. And then community chest, which is where it can be like I got my Patreons to do this, and I'm very grateful for my Patrons, and my Patreon is always linked down below. But they suggested sort of challenges that I would love. So some people were saying, like, read, I don't know, a Tracy Chevalier book, or read one of your favorite authors or whatever. And then also there were challenges that I didn't love, like I'm famous for not liking books on boats. So that was one of them. And I've shuffled them all, and I will see if I'm drawn to those. But yeah, it's a really, really good way of kind of trying out, like picking from your shelves in a different way. And my mum's actually going to do it at school, I think, with her pupils. I'm just going to have a quick swig of tea while I request that you let me know other things you'd like to see on my channel, apart from my t-shirts and sweaters, which I think are just going to get fancier and fancier this autumn. That's what I'm promising myself. So what to read when you feel, now these, I like this idea, Mia, thank you very much. What to read when you feel blah, not blah, although sometimes we all do feel blah, I think, every so often, but also if you love this, you'll love these. Yes, I will do some of those. And then always love a book haul video because it gives me ideas for things to read, look out for. Sarah, you're in for a treat on Friday because there's one of those a coming. So yeah, but like I was saying, I had a little break, had a little bit of time to think, and I am going to be back doing 3 videos a week, and they're going to be much more regulated than they were before. So actually this week I'm totally out of whack because yesterday was book club, today is this live, and then tomorrow Friday, it will be my August book haul. I don't know how I'm going to do all the books that I hauled in 1 month in one video, but I'm going to give it a shot. And then from then on Sundays, you'll get a vlog of the last week, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays it'll be whatever other videos I decide to create and see how I go. So that's going to be a plan. We have some more people miss my reading vlogs. I actually did probably one of my best reading vlogs recently. It was 45 minutes long and it was 3 weeks worth of stuff, but it was on my Patreon. But I was really, really pleased with it. I'm just struggling at the moment to get new music, just like I really wanted to have new thumbnails, and I haven't got my head around that yet. But that's another thing that I really want to work on, is changing my thumbnails, because I feel like mine look a little bit retro and not in a good way at the moment. More love for the vlogs. So yes, the vlogs will be back on Sundays. There'll be a definite date for them going forward. I'm just books for when you're in a reading slump. Now, this is an interesting thing, and I might do a video on this for the Sky Arts Book Club. But I find when I'm in a book slump, there's other things that aren't reading that I should do, and I need to try and compile that all over like a weekend and see if I can make some kind of like mini vlog or something of how to deal with a slump. So yeah, I'll work on that one. Also spotlight videos, quite a few people have said that. So yeah, I've done one I think so far on Maggie O'Farrell. I think that's all I've done so far, so I'll do some more. My mum's going to be on the channel on Tuesday, so there's going to be some more Louise on the channel. Chris is always in a vlog somehow, and yeah, so I promise there'll be more of those. I'm also really wanting to get Crime Time to come back at some point. Me and Pip keep saying we're going to do it, but it's our diaries. And actually there was one comment that I got when I said I was having a break, where somebody said, oh, I could tell you need a break because you keep saying that you're going to do things and then you don't do them. Now, I would say 10% of that is true, but I'd also say that the rest of the time, it's actually just that life at the moment for me, I'm doing so much traveling. Like I've literally got this week at home, which is very exciting. And then, we had my auntie stay at the weekend, which was lovely. And in my next vlog, you're going to see us going for a walk out into the estuary between Wirral and Wales, where there are islands that you can go and walk out to and along. And at the end, we saw about 30 seals. I kid you not, just watching us, and just, oh, it was amazing. So yeah, my auntie was here, and then this week I think we're going to go out with Pip and her fiance to catch up and just hang out, which would be lovely. But then I'm traveling again solidly for a couple of weeks. I'm at home for 2 weeks, and then this was like between October and December, I have 2 festivals, and I have 3 dates of a tour, which I'm very excited about, and I'll be able to say about soon, with 2 people that I adore, and I'm so excited, and I can't quite believe I'm doing it. I keep pinching myself because I can't quite believe it's real. And then I also have to get to 15 different libraries in the space of 8 weeks, and they are all around the UK, so Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and around England. So that's kind of what's going on. So if I chop and change my mind, it's not because I'm not, well, I guess I'm not reliable at the moment, but it's just because life makes me change and chop and change and decide what I'm doing differently and all that kind of stuff. So there we go. Another request for a deep dive on one author or series. I would like to do a video where I go through, behind me there is my crime shelves, and I would really, really like to either read a series. I've got quite a few series that I've not started, but I've hoarded, and I'd quite like to either do a video where I go through one series, or where I start the first of each series that I have and decide whether I'm going to carry on or not. Is that a good idea? Would you like to see that? Let me know in the comments. I always love video with backlist titles rather than new releases. That's interesting. See, for every really want new releases, there's always going to be one would like backlists. So how do I mix that up? Time will tell. Then we have, what about Chris doing a cookbook review or recommend? We might do a video together on Chris's favorite cookbooks and the ones that he loves. And Chris was going to be doing a channel by himself, but I think after Sky Arts Book Club finishes and he finishes doing videos for that, where he's cooking out of each of the cookbooks every month that are featured on the show, then maybe the channel will happen. But my mum's also thinking about doing a channel, so there could be more savages on Instagram than you can shake a stick at. Where does that saying come from? Who even knows? So we've got that. Then yes, people would like a video with first books of thriller series. Right, that's one that I'm going to do. Yes, that seems very popular. So we've caught up with that. So I think 3 videos a week sounds nice. And a vlog is something that while I'm traveling so much is quite easy for me to film. It's actually quite hard when I'm in hotels a lot to, can you tell, by the way, I'm having a slight Durkheim's flare. I think it's the excitement. And for those of you who don't know, Durkheim's is a condition that I have. It hasn't just because I've been out in the sun briefly this weekend. And also my hair has gone blonder, but not naturally or because of the sun. But Durkheim's is a rare condition that I have that I might do some videos on. It's a chronic illness where I grow lipomas on my, you can't see because of the light, but I've got like scars all on my arms and on my legs and everything where these grow. And basically they cause either migraines, well, they're not migraines, but that's the only way I can describe them. It's like having a migraine in that part of your body or just a full body one. And sometimes I get a bit hot flushy when one's on its way. And that can just be because I'm hot, or it could not like in that way, just in like warm. But also, I do not think I'm hot in the other way, but also because it can just be like I'm tired or my nervous system's been a bit funny. Anyway, so I don't know whether I should do a series on that or not. That would be quite interesting to do. It might be cool to see a recommendations video matching books of different moods, feelings, or settings. Yes, I like this idea. We've had this one, so that's 2 votes for that. So I'm gonna give that some thought. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about doing was, and I don't know if you think this would be a good idea or not, but I'm putting it out into the ether. And it's not because I'm questioning myself, it's just because I want to hear what you guys think. But I would really like to possibly do Cuppa and a Catch-Ups live every month. So not pre-record them, but do them live. So that would be cool, potentially, if you liked it, if you like that idea, if you think that could be fun. It also could mean that I have like my mum on, possibly, or whoever. But I also was wondering, do I do that on the first day of the month, or like I am today, or do I do it in the middle of the month when kind of there's stuff of what's happened so far and what's coming up over the next few weeks? Because we will get to what's coming up, because there's quite a lot coming up. What else have we got? Yes, and I totally agree. The main thing is to make videos you enjoy making. And no, you can't curate a channel that everyone will enjoy all the time. But I'm still want to soundboard stuff, because this is the kind of conversations that I have with some of the other booktubers that I talk to and stuff. Speaking of which, Joanna would like a video with some recommendations of your favorite booktubers. I have been a very bad booktube watcher. That was one of the things that I did when I had a bit of a break. I would enjoy a video of recommended books that were released, say, a number of years ago. That could be quite interesting. Oh, I like that idea. Oh, live catch-ups is a fab idea. And I was also thinking, actually, what it could be is like a live catch-up. And then for some of it, I could just catch up with what I'm doing. And then maybe I could have guests, see here, who join me for part of the catch-up with a cuppa too. I don't know if that would be an idea. It'd be a really good way of me kind of getting to chat to people that I haven't chatted on BookTube, who I really, really like, who I haven't got. It would be a really good way of me chatting to booktubers that I really, really like that I haven't managed to meet in real life yet. So that would be quite good fun. Middle of the month, people are saying so far. And yes, that's one of the things that I like about it with a live. You can always watch them later if you're not able to join in live. I just think it would yeah, I would just like it more, I think, to be able to actually catch up with people and you ask me questions. And so also, if you've got any questions at the moment, then let me know. Oh, and I don't want to miss this, because this is an author that I'm thinking of getting to because of Jane Campbell. Harley says she's slowly working her way through the Nikki French books. I have got quite a lot of their books on my shelves. And yes, Jane Campbell has been raving about them, and it's been tempting me to try them. I actually saw Jen Campbell's table that I think she donated or gave money to buy for Mr. B's Bookshop in Bath. And it was so lovely to see. And that bookshop is a joy. In fact, Bath was a joy with my mother. It was really, really lovely. And actually, me and my mother and Chris and my stepdad Tim are all going away to Edinburgh at some point this autumn, which is very exciting and very bookish. So let me know what you'd like to see there from that. But no, I always think it's quite nice to hear what people would like to see, because it sparks all the ideas in my brain. And also, a lot of people will say I'm putting pressure on myself, but I don't think I am, because I do YouTube because I want to, not because I feel like I have to. It's a hobby. Does the bubblegum lady have a name? She's amazing. She doesn't have a name yet. I think actually Tom from Tom Reads Things might have named her, so I'll chase up with him what he called her, because I definitely think he gave her some kind of name. I don't think it was Arabella, but I think it's something along those lines. But yeah, I need to do that. So yeah, if you've got any questions about anything and everything, let me know. The other thing I think I'm going to bring back is favorites video, which I used to do monthly and actually didn't really enjoy. So I think what I'm going to do is do them seasonally and have half of the video be me sat here showing you some of my favorite things, but then also the other half being just like, I don't know, 2 minutes of snippets of my favorite moments throughout the whole of the last season. I think that would be really, really good. I'm not going to say where I'm staying, because I don't do that, because who knows what could happen if you put too much information out on the internet at any point. But I can say that I have been to the Witchery for dinner. It was on my 21st, and man I was dating at the time, Tintin, flew me to Edinburgh for my 21st birthday, took me out for dinner there, and it was incredible. I have never forgotten the lavender sorbet. They did like a trio of puddings after like a 5-course taster meal. I feel like taster menus have gone out of fashion, and I don't know why, because I really, really, really like them. Yes, Emmy, you're right with favourites. I'm sure there will be some stationery coming along. You know me far too well. Where else am I traveling? I'm not going to say exactly where I'm traveling, but I'm going to Northern Ireland for the first time this autumn, which I'm so excited about. I can't believe I've not been, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to go out for the work I need to do, and then maybe stay on the way in Dublin again for a couple of days. I know that's not Northern Ireland before anyone says, but then stay in Belfast on the way out, and I'm going to get to see a lot more of Scotland this autumn and some more of Wales that I've not seen before. So that's really, really, really exciting. Hello from the US. So excited to catch up. Oh, this I always love. Thank you, Sylvanian family. I always love to know where in the world you are. It does turn into slightly like an episode of Eurovision, but still, if you want to say where you are. But I'd love questions. I feel like I'm ready for questions. Grill me is what I want to say. Grill the savage, but don't feel like you have to, obviously. Oh, one thing I was going to say before I know what we need to do. Oh, I talked about Bookoplathon and then didn't say that I need your suggestions for what I got for my roll 8. But before I do, the first book that I'm actually going to read this September, I'm really excited about this, is Brazen, which is Rebel Ladies Who Rock the World by Penelope Baggio. This is non-fiction. What do you call it? It's a graphic novel, but non-fiction. What do you call that? Graphic non-fiction? That sounds quite kind of wrong, doesn't it? But it's lots of women who rock the world who've kind of been sort of not as celebrated as they should be. I'm very excited about The Worst Witch from, sorry, I didn't realize that the lighting was a bit ropey. But yeah, and this is because my Patreon, sorry to mention it again, vote for the first book that I read every month. Why am I apologizing for saying it? I can say it. I've got apologetic and I don't need to. I've got this new thing that I'm starting where every month I'm going to have one habit of mine that I want to eradicate and a new habit that I want to introduce. So this month, the habit that I want to eradicate is trying hard with people who don't really try back, or people who just sort of a bit fair weather. Does that make sense? But in the same vein, I also want to make sure that I'm commenting on people's content and sharing the content that I love more, because that's something that I would like to do that I'm aware that I don't do. So it's getting rid of one bad habit and kind of introducing a better habit to replace it. I don't know how you'll feel about that, but I might keep a log of what those are. And one of them, I think maybe for October, needs to be to stop blinking apologise when there's no blinking need. So there we go. Right, so I told you what I'm going to be reading first. Now, Bookoplathon, somebody has asked, have I sorted out my new TBR game yet? No, I haven't. For those of you who missed it, It's going to be Simon Swipe coming January 2022. I need to actually play the game before I work out how I'm going to do it as a TBR game, but it is going to happen. So, right, before I start answering your questions, because they're all coming through now, I rolled an 8, which on the Bookoplathon board, the prompt is gods. So I would love you to tell me in the comments down below while I answer questions, some books that are kind of have gods in them that I could head to, that I might have on my shelves. Obviously, I won't have them all, but yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. So yeah, let me know. It is, I think, habit swapping. It's just about reprogramming my brain, basically. And I'm going to try and do it with a positive and a forward-thinking attitude. Rebecca's in Prague, blows my mind. I would like to go to Prague. I've never been. Western WA State. Sorry, Rebecca. There we are. Western WA State. Sean is in Wales, but moving to Edinburgh next week. And took, your grandmother to Bath the other week. That's so. Did I just say Sean or Ben? I did say Sean. I feel like I'm going mad. The cobblestones are a bit of a one, but the bookshops are great. You are right. And yeah, Edinburgh. I'll be there very soon. I blinking love it. And speaking of Edinburgh, I'm hoping to see Cody, who's going to be doing the reading prompts with Becca at 7 o'clock after I finish this. As in, I'm finishing this early so that I don't run into that, because I want to do some reading with the reading sprints. I think it's dice sprints, which sound like I might be dicing with death. But yeah, so I'm hoping to see Cody when I go to Edinburgh. And in October, I will be doing Cody's TBR game. She's very kindly recorded it for me. I was going to try and do it this month, but with my brain being where it is and a bit too much work, I had a small meltdown. So feeling much better today. Slept on it. This sounds so bad that I'm saying this at 39. I got so grumpy last night for various different reasons, mainly just mind stress, that I took myself to bed, and I don't normally do that, and slept on it and slept it off, and that was so worthwhile doing. Anyway, yeah, Cody, I'll be doing her TBR game in October, so that's exciting. And I'm going to do Bookoplathon all month. It's going to choose my reading one at a time. Then when I go on holiday, I'm going to roll the dice for a week. And then, because I'm going on holiday soon, I haven't mentioned that. Or the fact that I've curated a literary thread in a book festival, which sadly is already sold out. Well, not sadly, it's exciting, but sadly I can't. There's no more tickets that I can say to go and get, but it's in Wales. It's in the grounds of a castle, and I'll be doing events with Jess Kidd, Jen Ashworth, Sarah Winman, and Monique Rofi. And there's going to be ghost tales around the campfires, and there's going to be like loads of amazing world food there from all these amazing indies. There's like axe throwing, there's open water swimming, there's foraging for mushrooms. It's amazing. And hopefully I'll be doing it again in the spring, so I'll let you all know about that, because that hasn't sold out yet. Anyway, there we go. Have you thought of doing any more trips to places where you would like to read a book set in that particular location? This is a very good question. And the answer is I would love to, but financially it's not that easy to do. So at the moment, I'm just kind of going wherever work takes me and sort of seeing what libraries and bookshops and all of those things are there. And I will be traveling much more widely now. So yeah, one place that I might go though, is Whitby, because when I was a kid, I loved the Whitby Witches. Also, Dracula is partly set in Whitby, and I've always wanted to go. So me and a friend might go in the autumn. That's a plan, possibly. Favorite bookshop ever? Oh, Emma, that's a hard question, but I did say grill me, and I would like you to carry on grilling me, all of you. Favorite bookshop ever? I think it's got to be Scarthin Books, because I've been going since I was in the womb. There's a thought for you all, because my family are from the next village to Cromford, which is Matlock Bath. And yeah, my mum was a massive bookworm, so she took me, well, in her tummy when she was pregnant, and then from birth I went, and I've been going ever since. Have I been this year? No, but I went last year, so I have been recently-ish. This year, last year, they all merged, don't they? Oh, here we go. Are you going to judge the dog competitions that you were asked for? Yes, I am. So this is actually part of the festival that I'm going to be curating the literary thread of. So I think I'm doing these sort of 4 events. So that's like 4 and a bit hours of my time that whole weekend. And then I'm going to be judging a dog show, which I'm so excited about, because in the last year I've become more dog obsessed. And actually, the author Claire McIntosh has just had puppies recently. Well, not she hasn't. Her dog has had puppies, obviously, and she possibly offered me one, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But yeah, I don't think it'd be fair on the cats now, but I definitely think I'd like to get a dog at some point. So this is going to be like dog joy by proxy. And also Jess Kidd is bringing her dog Wilkie Collins, best name for a dog ever, with her. So I'm going to get to play with Wilkie Collins. That sounds wrong. And also Jen Ashworth is bringing her dog Brody. So it's going to be a doggish delight. Nearly went wrong with that saying, didn't I? But it's going to be a delightful weekend with lots of dogs, and then I get to judge loads of dog shows. That's going to be bonkers. I feel like that might be the peak of my career, to be asked to judge a dog show, and also all the proceeds are going to Shelter, which is a charity that I'm very passionate about. Mine is in Netherlands, not Rotterdam though, so no Eurovision. You know what I meant. New TBR game, I've answered that one. Oh, here we go. Hang on, I've lost myself. I'm scrolling, because suddenly there's loads that I didn't even see. Hang on. Oh, there's more people in Prague. That's very exciting. So, question: what's your biggest book beat? I have an author book you think are overrated or a pet peeve in novels. I don't like books without chapters, and I don't like books without paragraphs, which is why I had beef with Ducks of Newburyport. So there's that. I have beef with a couple of authors, but I'm just not going to talk about it because that wouldn't be professional or fair, because they can't respond back. Do you read or like Southern Gothic? Any favourites? Welcome back. Thank you. Describe Southern Gothic to me. I probably do, because it's got Gothic in it. So maybe. 12 points from Finland. That's really tickled me. A lovely idea. Habit swapping. Yes, I just think it's a positive thing to do. Is that the Swedish flag that I can see there? I've been to Sweden. I liked it very much. What about the new Pat Barker? What about it, Emma? I have it. Oh, I know what you mean. For the Gods prompt, I actually have that book. So that could be a possibility. My instant thought for the Bookopoly prompt that I've got, rolling an 8 and being Gods, is to like try and read the Iliad. But is that too much? I think my mother would be proud and possibly pass out. But even so, she put a post on her Instagram today that made me cry. It's very, 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 very lovely. Really look like Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, especially the audiobook. I've had that on my shelves for ages. Also, actually, that's a really good point. I have Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry's. I have Stephen Fry's. Which book of his on my shelves that I haven't read yet? Is it Heroes? I can't even see it. Heroes, yes, can. It's there. It was in my head. It was yellow. It's grey. Yeah. So that could be an idea. Oh, that started me thinking. Prague. Very exciting that so many of you are in Prague. Although Benjamin, that still is making me that's a little bit horror movie, I'm going to say. I don't mean to judge, but it is. So Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, if you haven't read it, I think it would be your kind of thing. I like the idea of that. I don't have it on my shelves. And one thing I forgot to say is with Bookoplathon, I'm going to try not to buy any books and try and actually read through my shelves, because one thing, I have not told you all this, I have had a huge sort out of this room. Now, the smug shelf of smugness is still there, but it won't be for much longer because I do actually need to put some books on it. But I spent 5 hours sorting this room out and culling and clearing and sort of everything afresh. And I was thinking, do I film a 1 in 1 out? I thought, no. Sometimes you've just got to do these things and get on with it. And if you get a camera out and you start chatting away like I am now, you can't stop. You don't know when to end, and it'll all go horribly wrong. So, yeah, I have tidied it up and had a cull. So, yeah, I want to try and read more off the shelves. I was going to say I'm not going to buy any books in September, but me and Mum are in London together next week, and we're going to go to bookshops. Not going to happen. Fabric and Fables, hi from Indiana. Just found your channel and binged your videos. Absolutely love you, Chris and Louise. Honestly, those are the two savages, Chris Savage and Louise Savage, getting far too big for their books. Boots, far too big for their books. That's very apt. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Don't have it on my shelves, but that's a very, very, very good idea. Amsterdam, I want to come to. I have a friend who lives in Amsterdam. In fact, no, I've got 2 friends because Hannah is there as well. But I've got a friend I've known since I was in my 20s who used to share a house with, who lives in Amsterdam, and I must go and visit because I think it'd be amazing. Oh, someone's in the west coast of Canada. I've never been to. Oh no, I have been to Canada. I've been to Niagara Falls and London, so that's not true. I would like to come to Prague at some point. That is something I would like to do. My friend Kerry Hudson lives out in the Czech Republic, and I would like to see her very, very, very much. The Book with God's Maybe, A History of Loneliness. Who's that by? Because actually, God's right. I hadn't thought about like priests and vicars and religion. That's quite interesting, although religion I am a bit about. Emma would like to know if I ever get anxiety when you know you have a lot to read or when you feel the pressure to get books read by a certain time. Sort of, yes. I had it recently when I was reading to a very tight deadline because some of the books didn't arrive until late, and because I've been away, I had to read quite a lot of non-fiction, as you'll see in my next reading vlog. And then for one of the authors not to turn up for that event, that was quite stressful. But overall, no, I find it really helpful. And I found it particularly helpful in a book funk. But I did used to, weirdly, now that I've got the luxury and the privilege of having a room where I can keep all of my TBR and shut the door, that's much more calming. Whereas when I used to live in an old flat in London, well, the last flat I lived in London, I had all of my TBR on shelves in my bedroom, and that used to make me quite anxious, actually. So yeah, I guess it's like if I can't see them all the time. Sorry, this chair is so squeaky. It's not me, it's the chair. But yeah, I guess if I can't see them sometimes, it means I can switch off a little bit. And sometimes I do think, I know this is going to be controversial and I can't believe these words coming out of my mouth, but sometimes I do genuinely think you need time off books and reading. You can't do it all the time, be it for work or for pleasure. We have Maxine from Barcelona. Emma's raving about Prague. Blue Skin Gods by S.J. Sindhu. I feel like I might have that on my shelves. Everything Prague is open now and will be open at least until the election in October. Oh, okay, good to know. God is an Englishman by Delderfield. I don't have that on my shelves, but thank you for the recommendation. The event sounds incredible. Is that the one in Wales? Yes. Books, loads of food, loads of poetry, loads of indie bands and world music and world food, and swimming in the lake, dog shows, axe throwing and archery and an old castle. I mean, it is amazing. So I will let you all know as soon as the next one happens. Ghost Tales Around Campfires. Jess Kidd and Jen Ashworth are actually creating their own ghostly tales for it, so that's going to be brilliant. Gods of Jade and Shadow for a different religion. I have that on my shelves. That's a really, really, really good pick. Thank you, Linda. That might be possibly the one, because I got very excited about that and I really want to read her books. Fit to be read. Great question. I'd love to read The Three-Body Problem or Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress from around. Oh, I've not heard of any of those. They sound brilliant. Another recommendation for American Gods. I sadly don't have it on my shelves. I've also just whizzed way too far forwards. My keypad is very sensitive. So let's have a look. Just seen something that Ben said that just really, really made me laugh. So yes, Gods of Shades and Terror, that was a really, really good one. More recommendations for American Gods, but I don't have it. Oh, kids, Gods. Would you do a come book shopping with me video, filming as you're browsing through different bookstores? Now, I would like to do that, and I did do that with Mum, where I gave her, I gave her, that's not technically true. I gave her by proxy an £100 gift voucher from Books in My Bag to go wild in a bookshop. Not last year, not the year before, maybe the year before that. I can say for Books in My Bag this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, myself and Melanie will be turning up in 3 or 4 bookshops in one day to be pop-up booksellers, and we will hopefully be filmed doing it. So that will be along those lines of that sort of video. So hopefully that sounds good to you all. The Rivers of London series, that's a really good idea. I haven't got them though. Have I binge watched any series on television other than Housewives? Yes, I have. I've binge watched a lot. I'm having a little break actually from the Housewives, and I've suddenly got back into New York City, and I don't know why. And also this is scary. In the last year and a half, I have managed to watch the entire, I think it's 12 or 15 series of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm caught up with Atlanta. I'm caught up with Potomac, and I'm caught up with one other one. And that's a lot of telly. But to answer your question, not to freak myself about how many hours I spent doing that. Although, do you know what? I was shielding. It was a pandemic. Give myself a break. Stop apologising. getting that rule in there early. But other television, I watched The White Lotus, which I loved the first 3 or 4 episodes of. I thought the last 2 were a bit weak, but Jennifer Coolidge in anything is amazing. In fact, that's giving me an idea of what I want to watch tonight, especially with the dog judging thing. Best in Show. I don't know if any of you have seen that movie. It's amazing. Just started watching, sorry for the language, but it is Kevin Can Go Fuck Himself, which has got Annie Murphy in it from the series Schitt's Creek, which I loved. And it's really bizarre. So it's about a woman who's on a sitcom wife, but as soon as she's on her own, everything changes. And it's quite dark and quite sinister and deals with trauma, and it's amazing. So I'd recommend that. Anything else that I've watched? I think that's it. But if you've got any recommendations for me, let me know. Now then, City of God by St. Augustine. It's only 1,200 pages. Sadly, I don't have this on my shelves. So that's a real shame. Otherwise, absolutely, that would have been my first choice. Low self-esteem was on Word in the Water today and thought of you. Jazzy was wolf whistling and shouting, see you later. For those of you who don't know, please go and watch. It's my favourite book club that we've done, partly because this book is so important and so many people need to read it. But also, I think it's some of the best ridiculousness ever that I've caught on my channel, because I never in a million years when I started this channel could have thought I would have been sat on a canal boat, which was a bookshop, on a canal in London with Melanie Sykes being wolf whistled and heckled by a parrot. But that happened. Go and check that video out to find out more. So I'm thrilled that Jazzy has had some more visitors, because Jazzy was amazing. See, I would like to read the Iliad. I would really, really like to read it. I think I've got, is it the Iliad that I've got? Or is it the other one? It might be the Odyssey, which is the one that's been translated by a woman for the first time ever. That would have been perfect for Women in Translation Month, more for me. Oh, apparently I got the flag wrong for Sweden. It was for Finland. Sorry, I do apologise. People saw my mum's post. It was lovely. It was really, 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 excuse me, it was the tea. It was very moving. It's not actually, it's the Fanta that I had before I went out for a walk. I'm going to finish this, not the tea, but this video in the next 5 minutes so that people can get over to Becca's channel to do some sprints. Oh yes, I've read Eudora Welty, and I liked her. I actually, true story, went to her house in America on a road trip, and about an hour and a half later, I was like, "Where is my passport?" And I realised I didn't have my passport anymore, and we had to drive all the way back. And it was randomly, I dropped it, fallen out of my pocket in her house, well, in her grounds, where there were signs everywhere saying, "Don't step on this land, you'll be shot." So there we go. Oh, we've got Fit to Be Read is in Washington DC. Simon Live, yes, hello, it's me. Imagine. Norwich is lovely. I've been to Norwich. I really, really liked it. And Whitby, I'm so excited to go to finally. Illinois, very exciting. Troy is a good book, but quite long, so I have that as well. And of course, that does have gods involved, but I feel like I need to read the Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry. I don't know why I feel like I was on the same his name like that. But I feel like I want to read his books in order. Almost to admit I'm in Texas today. I don't judge where people are from, and I don't judge people that they might be like whatever news is around wherever they are, because if that was the case, you would all think that I hated Europe and that, well, what do you think about Britain? It's not a great time for the UK, is it? Let's be honest. A book D-haul. I am a bit too late for that because I've had a massive unhaul recently, so I apologise, but I'll do that at another point. Oh, we've got Ontario, Copenhagen. Do I own a Kindle? Yes. Do I use it? No. Southern Gothic. Okay, now, so I do. I've not read In Castle McCullers, but I've read Harper Lee, and I've read Eudora Welty. So I enjoy what I've read of it so far. I need to find out more about it. Oklahoma City, more people from Finland. This is amazing. A History of Loneliness is by John Boyne. I have some of his books on my shelf, and that's a whole kind of conversation I want to have at some point. I interviewed him for Sky Arts Book Club, sorry, but it happened. Not sorry, I'm not apologizing. And he's had some slip-ups on social media. He's done some questionable things. I think we've all done questionable things in our life. And whilst there are some people that I think their views and opinions are abhorrent, I don't think we should cancel them. We have to listen to them because you need to know what the enemy are thinking. But also, I think we need to get back into discourse. And ever since I met Megan Phelps-Roper, who wrote Unfollow Me, she was in a extremely extremist cult. She had discourse politely on Twitter, and it's what made her rethink everything. So I feel like that's something that needs to be discussed more and less of this cancel culture malarkey. How has your book taste matured as you've got older? Do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I read so widely. I don't mean like that, but I now read so much more widely than I used to. I feel like sometimes I forget what my taste is, and that's something I might do. Pleasure, Emma. So I've gone too far again. Oh no. Scrolling back. Here we go. Have I read any Robin Hobb? Years ago, and I haven't gone back to it. I used to quite like fantasy. There's a fact. If you're thinking of heading to home, I perfectly prefer the Odyssey to the Iliad. That makes me want to read the Iliad first, because then I know that the next one's going to be better. Because I'm a contrary fairy. God's Prompt, Pandora's Jar. I've read Pandora's Jar. It's amazing, by Natalie Haynes. Absolutely incredible. Both the Iliad and the Odyssey are interesting and fast reads. If I turned up and saw my mother next week and was like, guess what I read last week, Louise? Or mum, because I should really call her mum. I read the Iliad or the Odyssey. She would pass out. Justin shows hysterical. I think I'm going to make Chris watch that tonight. I think he'd like it. Never too late, ever. I can't remember where I got this from. I bought it for the TV show that shall now not be named, because I wanted to wear some queer indie couture, and I found this on Etsy, so I'll try and remember to link it down below if I find it. Have I watched the Good Fight TV series? Oh, we've caught up. Oh no, we haven't. Have I watched the Good Fight TV series? I have. I hated the last series. I was so disappointed by it. I wanted to weep. How are you getting on with reading Anne Lister's diary? I have put it aside for now because Diary of a Young Naturalist had to read for book club, and it's also, I don't think I've just shown you that very well, but it is also, no, every time I turn to the page, there's no dates on it. It's also a diary, I promise. Recommend 9 Perfect Strangers to watch. I love White Lotus. I have been sent a box of Leanne Moriarty books and goodies, so at some point I may well watch that. I would have to read it first. You and Melanie laughing at Jazzy was just the best. It's honestly one of my favourite moments of YouTube ever. You couldn't have made it up, couldn't pay for it. It's just random. Midnight of the Garden of Good and Evil is more about something Gothic. Oh, I do want to read that one day. People saying I should read the Odyssey. Smash that like button. Oh, I don't know why. Why would you smash it? G-Mins is doing her book launch in 5 minutes. Oh, I didn't realise that, so I really need to go because I'd like to see that. I don't know why I didn't know that was happening. Why didn't I know that was happening? The Sandra Academics. Do you know what? We started watching that, and I was just a bit. It felt like the blokes were all the focus of it, like the funny guy, and I was like, no, this clearly is meant to be about women, and the women should be at the fore of the show. Anyway. People are going to head over to Becca's, Hello from Estonia, Great Goddesses by Nikita Gill. Do I have that? I might have that, and that will be very short. Not that that's the reason I should read it. Hi from Skegness, hello. Hello from York. Pink Cat, haven't seen much Estonia presentation. Hi from Suffolk. And on that note, I think we've got to, but please, in the comments below, let me know any other godly books you'd like me to read. Let me know what you'd like to see on the channel coming up. I genuinely want to know, because I might not do it all, but I just genuinely want to know because it's really, really interesting to hear everyone's different thoughts. And I will be back on Friday with a August book haul, a whole month's haul in one video. I feel scared for myself because I haven't filmed it yet. Anyway, I'm meant to be way ahead. I'm not, but I will be because I'm going away next week, so I need to be. And then, yeah, the week after that, I'm somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi or anything. Anyway, compare June, book and movie. Actually, genuinely would quite like to read June at some point. I've been talking about this. I can't remember where. I think it's on the BBC Sounds podcast, Turn Up for the Books, which I'm one of the hosts of, which is coming out on BBC Sounds worldwide on October the something. I'll let you know. So Russo, Straight Man and Smiley's Moo are the funniest books about academia. I don't really like books about academia, but thank you. And thanks, Simon. Have a lovely evening. On that note, I wish you all a good evening, whether you go to Jean's book launch or whether you go to Becca Sprints. Becca Sprints might go on a while, so I might go to Jean's book launch first and then Becca Sprints. There we go. I'll see you all soon. It's been lovely to see you. Bye.